Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, blockchain, NFTs. Everybody is keenly discussing about cryptocurrencies at this moment, but good God, what does every last bit of it mean? So welcome to the one video that will take you from crypto noob to crypto expert. I will tell you what it is, the reason it continues to turn out to be more significant, where I've really put my resources in, and the dark side of cryptocurrencies. Alright, so when society was in its initial stages, money didn't exist at all. We'll call this stage 1. The main way to pay something off somebody was to go to them and resemble, "Oh, I truly like your pony, I'll exchange you my kitten for it." Yet the issue with a framework like that will be that despite the fact that you may be completely cheerful to surrender your pony, you just probably won't need a feline, so that exchange will never happen. That's exactly where cash came in. Stage 2, coins. Coins were made of valuable materials like gold and silver. Everybody acknowledged that they were worth something. You've known about the English pound, right? Well, the explanation they're called pounds is, since 1 pound in a real sense just used to be 1 pound of silver. Thus, all of a sudden in an exchange it doesn't make any difference on the off chance that you don't need my cat as long as I have coins. We can in any case exchange for your pony, even assuming you have no utilization by any means for the silver. Since it's a valuable material, you have that consolation that you can take that coin, give it to another person, and exchange for something that you really do need. Perfect, right? But this gave birth to stage 3. Banks were established and state-run administrations had full control. We understood that for however long there was trust in the framework, we could move away from expecting to convey blocks of valuable metal towards something much more advantageous, paper cash. It does likewise, however presently the cash doesn't have esteem since it's made of unadulterated silver. It simply has esteem in light of the fact that the public authority says it has esteem, like this £10 note here in the UK. The actual note is simply made of, well, it's really made of plastic. They transformed it as of late in light of the fact that it's more sturdy. However, assuming that you look carefully, you can see that this really is the Bank of Britain promising that they will pay the carrier of this note £10. Actually, this is only a receipt, a sort of proof that you own a specific measure of cash. In any case, as advances worked on even further, we viewed as significantly more advantageous approaches to putting away and exchanging our stuff. We're presently in my thought at stage 4 where more individuals than any other time in recent memory are purchasing things on the web and utilizing credit cards. And truly, when you're at that stage, we don't see our cash any longer. It's not about coins or notes or kittens, it's only passages on a bookkeeping sheet. Like when I purchase a music collection from Amazon, all that is occurring is that my bank adds a passage in my calculation sheet that says this person presently has $10 less. And afterward Amazon's bank adds a passage that says they have $10 all the more. So the explanation I've given you this whole introduction is to give you setting on where cryptographic money sits. It's seen by a lot of individuals as the most helpful period of trade ever. Stage 5. The method for pondering a digital currency is it's 100% virtual. I know the logo for Bitcoin sort of looks like a physical coin. It truly is a peace coin now, however with crypto, there is no gold, there is no silver, there is no paper. It truly is only the exchange of computerized resources. The center idea is the very same. Consider them in a real sense simply running calculation sheets of who's paid what to who. Be that as it may, rather than numerous banks keeping their own different records with crypto, there is only one colossal calculation sheet of each exchange made utilizing that money. Furthermore, this is known as a record. Okay, we as a whole have a decent calculation sheet, but what's all the quarrel about? For what reason is everybody going crypto psycho? Well, there are a few particular benefits to a cash framework like this. One, it's decentralized, which means that while each exchange of guaranteed digital money is all recorded on a similar record, there are many duplicates of that record. What's more, any individual who is a piece of the organization has one. You could have known about digital currency mining or Bitcoin mining. Great. All that is someone who set up a PC to crunch through exchanges on their duplicate of this record or bookkeeping sheet. There are as of now about 1 million Bitcoin excavators all over the planet. Also, Bitcoin is only one sort of digital currency. The explanation they're doing it admirably if you devote your PC's ability to mining, say Bitcoin, then you will acquire some Bitcoin as remuneration. So the after effect of this is that assuming I go into a store and burn through 5 Bitcoins on something, then, at that point rather than simply checking with one bank's records, The shop rather checks with each and every PC on this network on the off chance that I have enough. Also, accepting I do, every PC will give the go for it, and afterward, each and every one will refresh their records autonomously. So on the grounds that you wind up having this numerous duplicates of the very same record, it turns out to be extremely simple to let know if anybody's having a go at anything off-putting. Did you who bought this, like in the event that I attempt to hack into someone's PC that is on the organization, and give myself more cash by changing figures on their duplicate of the record, overcoming the system is not going. We'll understand that 99.9% of the duplicates on the record are saying one thing, however one of them is saying something different. So probably been messed with. There's exceptionally clear association to the framework. Furthermore, I think individuals have confidence in it in light of the fact that they see the future as open, recognizable exchanges, substantially more so than having like a few pieces of the record here and different pieces around there. And I know it appears to be perplexing right now, yet as we go through this, I think you'll understand that for many individuals in a way, it's easier. There are a lot of regions on the planet that have web access, which is all you'd require for crypto, yet don't have admittance to customary banks, which require a great deal of desk work and documentation. Well, two, and I've caring of suggested this as of now. However, the principal advantage of crypto is that you try not to require banks any longer. Since everything is put away by the individuals on this record, you can make worldwide installments in a flash, rather than it taking a portion of a day with no spending limits. In addition to, you don't need to stress over trade rates, you try not to have to stress over loan costs. And indeed, even exchange expenses are near nothing for some cryptographic forms of money. That is, however, this is where the genuine tomfoolery starts. I'm fine at parties, I guarantee. The explanation that digital currencies are called digital forms of money is on the grounds that they're gotten by cryptography. What's more, one illustration of this, which a ton of the significant digital forms of money like Bitcoin use, is blockchain. Now, individuals frequently get confounded by this. Blockchain isn't Bitcoin. Blockchain isn't a cash itself. Blockchain is only a solid sort of record. So you know that huge bookkeeping sheet that everybody has that is recording exchanges? Blockchain is only an approach to coordinating it amusingly enough into blocks. So every time I pay for something with Bitcoin, that exchange is recorded as a block. Each block contains exchange information like who was paid and how much, a hash, which is an exceptional identifier, and the hash of the past block and the sequencing or the last exchange that was recorded. What's more, the turn on which this framework rests is that assuming something in a block is changed, then that block's hash will transform you. Maybe beginning to see where this is going on the grounds that each block additionally contains the information of the past block. If the hash of the block here changes, then at that point the following block will never again have a coordinating hash with it. Thus, every resulting block after that one becomes invalid. So assuming that you consolidate this with what we discussed before, this entire idea of 1 million distinct clients all having their own duplicate of the blockchain record, then, if I had any desire to make falsely an exchange that, say, paid me cash, I'd need to not simply mess with a block and each and every block after it. In any case, I'd likewise need to do this on, in any event, a portion of 1 million PCs around the world. So, most of PCs in the framework are additionally predictable with the one I've messed with. Likely not going to occur. Though hacking into someone's dollar account and sending myself cash, that does occur, and it's occasionally as basic as in a real sense speculating someone's 6-digit PIN. In any case, there's a gigantic leap between that and attempting to hack into 500,000 uncorrelated PCs on the double. Okay, so digital currencies have their issues. I'm in a real sense going to get to them in a minute. Yet, ideally, you can see the reason why some individuals are amped up for them. Also, that welcomes me onto ventures. You've likely known about individuals placing cash into digital forms of money, and all that implies is that they're trading ordinary monetary standards like dollars for cryptos like Bitcoin. They're trusting that those cryptographic forms of money become the next enormous thing. What's more, along these lines abruptly shoot up in esteem, so all in all they can then either spend them or simply trade them back for additional dollars than they bought them for. There's really a term for digital forms of money that skyrocket like this, going to the moon or mooning, yet that can mean something very different, relying upon who you converse with. Yet, the one choice that someone would need to make as of now is which cryptographic money. Since we've discussed Bitcoin, however, Bitcoin is simply one of more than 4,000 different cryptos as of now, and every one of them have unique properties. For instance, Ethereum, which is the second generally put resources into, can deal with exchanges much quicker than Bitcoin. There's one called Cardano, which is viewed as mechanically unrivaled. There's one called Litecoin, which has a more up-to-date calculation. And assuming you are enjoying this video, then a sub to the channel would be awesome. So allow me to show you what I've done. Furthermore, disclaimer, this isn't in no way at all monetary counsel. I'm not suggesting this. I've in a real sense just put in a little measure of cash that I am agreeable losing. To be straightforward, the manner in which I'm seeing it is more as a hopeful bet rather than an essential speculation. The just thing that you absolutely ought to buy is one of these caps, best buy I've made. That is monetary advice. So I've put 40 in Ethereum, 20 to Polygon, 20 in Cardano, 10 in Cartesi, and 10 in Litecoin. And this portfolio has fundamentally gone up and then down and then up and then down, and then truly, you probably get more consistency from Wish.com. So, crypto is in a peculiar spot right now, and this brings me on to its concerns, the clouded side. The reason I think a lot of people don't take crypto seriously is its volatility, because these currencies are so new and they're completely digital, unlike, say, the market for gold. No one really knows what they should be worth. So you find that crypto prices are heavily speculative. They're tied to the news cycle, like when a glowing article comes out about them, prices spiral upwards. But then when Elon Musk posts a tweet that puts them down, they go way down. Two is the fact that they're not really accepted as a form of payment in, well, most places. Like yes, I can now book holidays with crypto, I can donate to Wikipedia with crypto, but there's been a lot of companies who are back and forth with it. Microsoft, Tesla, even Burger King are examples of companies who said they were going to accept Bitcoin, and then they said they weren't going to accept Bitcoin. 3. There can be an environmental concern. See, the whole reason why a lot of these cryptos are so secure is because of this concept of transactions being verified multiple times by multiple computers. So I think it's a fair criticism that in itself creates a fundamental weakness. That much computing power requires a lot of electricity, and yet you could counter this by saying that traditional banking uses more power, that there are newer coins with better technology that are more efficient, and that one day we'll be able to get that power from renewable sources. Depends who you ask. And 4, there's also a really deeply felt opinion that since there's no real policing or regulation on crypto right now, it's like the perfect currency for criminals. But to be straightforward, I think the data speaks for itself on that one. According to Chainalysis, 0.34% of crypto transactions are criminal. Up to 5% of regular currency transactions are criminal. And I think that's because it's a bit of a misconception that currencies like Bitcoin are anonymous. They're technically pseudonymous, which means that even though your real details aren't visible to everyone, your public key, your unique identifier, will be forever embedded into the blockchain after making transactions with it. So cash is just a better currency for most kinds of crime because, by its very nature, it's untraceable. Don't ask me how I know that. Yet too, as the negatives, there are also some straight-up odd things that have happened because of crypto. For instance, you might have heard of an NFT, a non-fungible token. If you haven't, you should sit down for this one. I don't want to call it stupid, but this one's a head-scratcher. So you know how now you can go into an art gallery and you can pay to own a painting? Well now, thanks to the blockchain, you can pay just to have digital ownership of something. So it doesn't stop anyone from using or sharing that thing, but all it means is that you'd actually be the owner of the original and they'd all be sharing copies of it, even if for most intents and purposes they look and act identically. Like a lot of these NFTs are literally just JPEG images. I think the reason some people see this as dumb and kind of funny is that there's a specific difference between buying an NFT and buying the rights over something. So if you buy the rights over something, that's a very real purchase because you can make goods or sell licenses. With an NFT, you can't. The original owner still has all the reproduction rights over that piece. All it is that you're using the blockchain to prove that you have some ownership over a digital asset. But clearly just being able to say that has some value because an NFT of this Gucci ghost sold for $3,600. The CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, he sold the very first tweet he made as an NFT for $2.9 million. 5 words, I could do that. Any brave souls? And this one just blows my mind. This photo, which is basically a collage of one guy's pieces of art, sold for $69 million. Very good to explain this. It literally just gives the buyer some digital ownership over a JPEG image. Finally, you might have heard of Dogecoin. Dogecoin is based on the same tech as Litecoin, but it was made as a joke. People started sharing it and putting a bit of money into it because they thought it was funny. But that pushed its value to the point where now we have people who have actually become millionaires because they bought Dogecoin when it was cheap. It's an interesting world out there.